The intensity of shots in classical Hollywood. Look at Notorious, 1946, Hey Everyone. Today, we're diving into an intriguing insight from the renowned film critic Hasumi Shigehiko about how certain cinematic shots transcend storytelling to create moments that linger with us long after the plot fades from memory. Hasumi gives us a fresh perspective on why certain scenes in cinema resonate so deeply. He said, "It's the same with Hawks and Hitchcock, or Ozu Yasujiro and Mizoguchi Kenji, but they all overflow their screens with a certain vivid transparency that can't be captured simply by directing the story written in the script." The intensity of the shot is similar to when Jean-Luc Godard talks about Notorious, 1946, and says he has forgotten the story but remembers the image of the bottle in the wine cellar. This is because shots that are not thought to have been written in the script are inserted at meaningful moments, giving vitality to the work in an area that is foreign to the logic of the story. What Hasumi is pointing out here is the power of those extraordinary moments in film that live outside the script's logic. These moments don't just serve the story, they go beyond it, imprinting themselves on our minds through their sheer visual and emotional intensity. The challenges of classical Hollywood filmmaking. Here's an interesting historical context Hasumi brings up. Classical Hollywood directors often worked under tight studio control. Producers imposed strict oversight, especially when it came to editing. But despite these constraints, directors like Alfred Hitchcock found ways to infuse their films with life and spontaneity, turning the screen into a living canvas. This creative resistance is why so many iconic scenes from classic Hollywood feel so vibrant, even decades later. The wine cellar scene in Notorious, 1946. Let's break this idea down with one unforgettable example. The wine cellar scene in Alfred Hitchcock's Notorious. This is the scene that legendary director Jean-Luc Godard once said he could never forget. Here's what happens. Devlin, played by Cary Grant, is searching for something important in a wine cellar. Suddenly, a bottle accidentally falls and shatters. But here's the twist. What spills out isn't wine, but a mysterious black powder. At first, it seems like a typical, oops, moment, predictable, right? But then the unexpected happens, and that black powder grabs your attention like nothing else. It's later revealed to be uranium, but that's not what makes the scene powerful. It's the visual shock of the powder spilling out, an element you didn't see coming. This moment isn't about advancing the plot. It's about creating a visceral, unforgettable image that sticks with you. Why this scene works. The power of aesthetic logic. What makes this scene so brilliant is how it plays with aesthetic logic. The surprise doesn't come from the narrative, it comes from the visual impact. The unsettling appearance of the black powder evokes unease, curiosity, and suspense, all at once. This is what Hasumi meant when he talked about vivid transparency. It's not just about telling a story. It's about creating moments that breathe life into the film, making it feel alive. Final thoughts. Hasumi's insight challenges us to look at films differently. Instead of focusing solely on the plot, we're invited to pay attention to the power of moving images, the way they can surprise us, move us, and linger in our minds long after the credits roll. The wine cellar scene in Notorious is a perfect example of this. It's not just a plot device, it's a moment of pure cinematic magic. What about you? Have you ever been struck by a scene that stayed with you purely because of its imagery? Maybe it wasn't about the story at all, but just a single shot or moment that left an impression. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences. And if you enjoyed this cinematic deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.